17 years later, in 1930, a fresh battle was brewing. H. Craig Severance, a star architect, teamed up with World War I hero and investment banker George Ohrstrom, along with the construction genius brothers William and Paul Starrett. In an unbelievable 10-month period, working round the clock 7 days a week, they built the newest, tallest skyscraper in the world, 40 Wall Street. 40 Wall Street soared to a height of 927 feet, a full 125 feet higher than the Woolworth Building. At the beginning of the 20th century, the railroad baron Cornelius Vanderbilt constructed Grand Central Station at 42nd Street and Park Avenue. Much new building constructed ensued in that area as corporate titans erected buildings within walking distance of Grand Central, and workers commuted from surrounding suburbs. Grand Central was also the primary stopping point for out-of-town visitors arriving in New York. Its architect, William Van Allen, was Severance's former partner and now hated rival. Van Allen teamed up with the automobile magnate Walter P. Chrysler to build Chrysler's self-made monument. What a surprise Severance and Ohrstrom had coming. They were certain that Van Allen had completed the building and that it would not reach within 80 to 100 feet of the ultimate height of 40 Wall Street. However, contained within the Chrysler building was a fire shaft, where under construction was the towering pinnacle. In one day, and only taking 90 minutes, the magnificent crowning spire rose through the roof and soared to an ultimate height of 1,046 feet to banish once and for all, in a matter of weeks, the short-lived world's tallest building title held by 40 Wall Street. Here is Frank Rogers, Walter Chrysler's trusted second-in-command, atop a rickety scaffold touching the highest pinnacle ever constructed. And here is Van Allen, sporting a Chrysler building costume with fellow architects at the Beaux-Arts Ball, each wearing his most recent design. Van Allen and Chrysler were masters of promotion. Jack Riley, the inquiring photographer, and Time Magazine's storied journalist, Margaret Bourke-White, are photographed at the Chrysler building in the most precarious positions and pictures that circulated around the world. In the pre-television 1930s, many of the news stories were reported by newsreel coverage playing in the movie theaters for 20 minutes prior to the airing of a feature film. Universal Newsreel captures window washers doing their job at heights never before imagined in these images. Rising to a height never before constructed by man, the Chrysler is still in all its glory today and remains a quintessential Art Deco masterpiece in the American skyline. An enormous sense of pride was also felt as the Chrysler became the first structure to surpass the legendary Eiffel Tower by 62 feet. William Van Allen unfortunately became one of life's more tragic figures. He and Chrysler never had a signed agreement, and the two quibbled in court for many years before Van Allen's fee was settled. His subsequent efforts at architecture have only gone down as minor footnotes in history. John Jacob Astor, The son of a German butcher amassed America's first fortune. The Astor wealth was founded on fur trading and real estate holdings. Continuing in the tradition of land acquisition, Astor's grandson, William B. Astor, purchased the 20-acre Thompson Farm at the corner of 34th Street and Fifth Avenue for his two sons so that they could build their mansions. Subsequently, William Waldorf built the Waldorf Hotel, followed years later by his cousin, John Jacob Raskob, who built the adjoining Astoria. This hotel was considered the most prestigious of its time. By the late 1920s, the original Waldorf Astoria was considered out of date, and the family made plans to construct their new Art Deco jewel further uptown on Park Avenue, within the shadow of Grand Central Station, where it still stands today. John Jacob Raskob was a financial genius. For many years, Raskob was the personal assistant to the chairman of the DuPont Corporation, Pierre DuPont, and later served as executive vice president of General Motors. Partnering with four-time New York governor and recently defeated presidential candidate Al Smith, along with the architectural firm of Shreve, Lamb, and Harmon, Raskob and his team chose the carcass of the old Waldorf as the site for the new building. The architects set into motion the master plan that was established by Raskob. Raskob was fond of using gigantic pencils as he jotted down his unending flow of ideas. Setting a pencil on its end, he directed a question to his chief architect, William Lamb. "How high can you build it, Bill?" Raskob demanded of Lamb. "Well, how high do you want it, John?" came his reply. Raskob had been a great admirer of the Carew Tower, constructed by Lamb in Cincinnati. He was also a fan of a new building recently constructed only 8 blocks up the street at 500 Fifth Avenue. Raskob wanted all of that and more for his new building.